Hey everyone, it's Aurora 1983, and this is episode 3 of Feed the Beast on Blockville. And today I've decided I'm going to revamp my little bee setup here. I had it set up so that I could breed some trees and get these really different trees. And I did make a little bit of progress. I managed to get these cherry trees and some silver lime trees, like this one, but it kind of stalled. So my original plan was just to get the trees, but apparently working with bees is a little bit addictive, and eventually I broke down and got myself a bee-elizer, which is a little handheld information getting tool for your bees, and I found out that the bees that I'm using are actually really slow at pollinating trees. But I did get some pretty cool looking ones here, these imperial bees, and they actually produce something that I actually need. They produce a royal jelly, which I'm going to use to make, man, what's it called? Just some kind of, it's kind of a community hive. This thing, an alveary. I need a bunch of these blocks, and in order to make these I need a bunch of royal jelly, which is made by these imperial bees. I found those through experimentation, but in order to get decent breeders, I need bees that are really good at pollinating trees. Here, let me get my bee-elizer out. I'll show you where it says that. Oh, I made some power armor too, but they're actually pretty easy to make, but it's getting the upgrades that's hard. So decided to leave that alone. I did, however, make some nano armor, which actually isn't that difficult, but it's pretty strong. But this is my bee-elizer. So let's get this. Let's get some honeydew. Basically, that's, you put that up here. You put the bee in here. And it tells you everything of its genetic makeup. It's got a short lifespan. This is the recessive gene, the inactive gene. It likes jungle flowers. That's how much space it works in, but it has a very slow pollination speed. So in order to get a fast pollination speed, I need a certain breed of bee called an industrious bee. And to get that, I have to go through a series of breeding processes, which normally you would do through experimentation, but because I'm both impatient and curious, I did a bit of research in the wiki, the Extra Bees wiki, and found that I need diligent bees as well as unwary bees. So that's going to take some very careful breeding, and I might even have to go find some new purebred bees, because most of the bees that I have with me right now are hybrids. So I'm gonna revamp my little setup here, so I have some more of these aviaries, and I'm actually gonna put a wall around this. I'm gonna leave the roof exposed because they need that for the most part. But it's mostly gonna be grass with all these flowers and some vines and as many flowers and stuff that I can get. So I'm gonna build hopefully something a bit stylish around here, and I'll come back when that's done. And here we go. pretty simple, but should protect me from mobs while I'm working with my bees here. It's been a while since I actually stopped the recording, and I did some more selective breeding, and I finally got the bees that I was looking for. I got my diligence, and I got my unwearies, and when you breed those together, you get these industrious drones, which are among the fastest pollinators, and plus they produce actual pollen, which is another thing that you need for the Alivery. Oh, and took a trip to the nether and managed to find a nether hive, which are pretty hard to find sometimes. And I've also been working with the rocky branch of bees. So I got these hardy drones and these tolerant drones, and when you breed those together you get these resilient drones, which are actually a stepping stone for another branch that I want to try to get, which is called the precious branch, and they produce like gold and silver and stuff, and hopefully with a bit of progress with those I can get like platinum and titanium. That's a little bit ways down the road. And I also managed to find some of these valiants, which are probably among the most longest lived bees, so maybe once I get enough of those I'll start interbreeding them and try to give my other bees some longer lives. But I made a bit more move. I made a bit more progress here in my house. Here, I'll show you around. Well, I think I'll name the kitty Harpo. That was suggested to me. I'll name him Harpo. These are all the cherries that come from those cherry trees. Oh, and I got my potato portal gun back. And I think I'm gonna start working more with this stuff, the power armors. I'm gonna look up some tutorials on how to upgrade and use these. Plus JCap is pretty proficient in using this stuff, so I'm probably going to use that instead of this nano armor, which isn't as strong as I thought it was. But let's take a look down here and see some of the new stuff that's down here. I managed to figure out how to get my my lava tank to work. All I needed was a wooden pipe. This is my big ironed, my industrial blast furnace, so I can make these silicone plates, but I also need this to make titanium, which comes from here. Basically, if I electrolyze this stuff, it'll extract titanium and aluminum and some hydrogen and silicone cells, I think. I noticed I was getting those hydrogen cells as a hefty byproduct, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do with them because I couldn't really figure out what I was going to do with them. So I decided I'm going to use them in a gas turbine, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is a regular old blast furnace, so I can get steel, which I need to make a quarry. And that's all that's down here. And this is the gas turbine. Basically, I just take, well, I don't have any on me right now, but if you see something that says it produces power inside a gas turbine, then you can put it in one of these. And to make one of those, it actually isn't that hard. Let's see, gas turbine. You can use just a regular, well, an advanced circuit, and you'll need some reinforced glass. These Invar ingots are actually made of 2 iron dust piles and 1 ferrous dust pile, and you can just smelt the result to get the Invar ingot. Windmill is just a generator with some carbon plates that you put coal dust inside a compressor. I did make a little bit more progress in the breeding. I guess my trees don't need to be quite as far away from each other, or quite as close to each other. Because even leaves that are up there in my house are changing. These are basically just mutated leaves that I use a grafter to get the saplings. So hopefully I'll make a bit more progress now that I have some faster pollinators. I suppose you might like to see some of the footage from my trip in the Nether. That was fun. On a slightly more personal level, I've noticed a lot of the comments on my last few videos are from people who still can't tell if I'm a girl or a guy, despite me actually saying so in the descriptions of most of those videos. But hey, who reads descriptions these days? There's nothing wrong with my mic. It's a brand new Blue Yeti. And personally, I don't think it really matters, but I am in fact a woman. And I'm fully aware that I have the voice of a boy, and I can't really help it. It's just a part of me. So forgive me if I sound more like Husky Mudkips than I has Cupquake, but I'm still new to the YouTube scene, and I hope that in the future I'll actually develop this thing called what's it called, a personality, and that in turn might actually make me sound a bit better. But until then, I'll make these videos as good as I can with what I have and what I know. So until then, I'll see you later.